In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the current conditions. We're going to be going over that upcoming crazy pattern. We're also going to be talking about the upcoming severe weather. Let's get straight into things. And first things first, we're taking a look at our current radar imagery. You can see that we do have some storminess up there for the northwest, mostly light to moderate rainfall. We have heavier rainfall going on here for the central United States, where we've been having some severe weather. And then for the eastern seaboard, we've been having some thunderstorm activity, although all of that is pretty much offshore at this point. Let's go ahead and zoom in here to the northwest, and as you can see, we have quite a bit of showery activity up here for Oregon, Washington here, so mostly just lighter to moderate showers, mostly in the form of rain, except for very, very high elevation regions in here. The highest elevations are basically seeing a little bit of snowfall, but even very high elevation areas that aren't the highest are seeing some rainfall. So this is a pretty warm rain event for this time of year. We're also seeing some rainfall make its way into Idaho there and Montana as well, which is worth noting. We can see down here in Colorado there are some snow showers in here. And we also have quite a bit of heavier rain showers in here associated with our main stormy region here. For this entire corridor here, very large region, especially down here, obviously for Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri, we're seeing a ton of heavy rainfall. We'll zoom into that in a minute, but there is some moderate showers, I would say, heading northward through this region. And these are heading through Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, and even Minnesota, possibly in the form of a thunderstorm, but mostly looks like heavier showers to me. To the south of this area here, we have some lighter to moderate showers going on. Very, very sporadic here, but for Texas, there is some isolated and scattered stuff going on down there. And then it's mainly this area, obviously, that we need to talk about today, where we have these very, very heavy showers and thunderstorms likely on this southern end. So if you're south of this line that I just drew, it's probably thunderstorms. If you're north of here, this looks like just persistent heavy rainfall going on there in the yellows and oranges there. So let's go ahead and where else? Let's see. So for southern Florida, we are seeing some rainfall actually, it looks like here. So that's moved offshore. I like to zoom into all these isolated regions. We can see some of these thunderstorms that were over these regions last night. These have kind of moved offshore, so we've seen these really just move away, and at this point they should all be offshore. Maybe let's see, I think the Outer Banks might be having some of those showers still. Yeah, look at that. We still have some rain showers and potential thunderstorms for this region, but that should be moving off over the next couple of hours. And then, yeah, that looks like it's about it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to move on, and we're going to take a look at the upcoming pattern on the modeled guidance, and we're going to break down the severe weather as well. Now, here we are taking a look at the upcoming pattern, and we're just going to see this storminess really, really spread out. As you can see, we see this really taking over for a lot of the central United States in here. We also see quite a bit up there for the northwest still. That's what we were seeing just a second ago, obviously. So we're seeing a lot of these things continue on. Let's just continue on and break this down, and we can see that the eastern United States starts to get more of this storminess by the time we're reaching Friday afternoon, or tomorrow from the time I'm making this video. It's going to be May 6th. We see a little bit of storminess up here in the northwest still by the time we reach this point. Let's keep going with this, and this storminess just persists here for the eastern United States. This is by the time we're reaching Saturday late evening, maybe about 11 p.m. We're still seeing this storminess persisting up here in the northwest as well. So we're kind of locked into a pattern here that really can't be broken. We see this is by Sunday afternoon. Still some storminess here. Still some storminess here with more snowfall, actually. So it's starting to get colder for that region. By Monday afternoon, there's a tiny bit of storminess. It's mostly offshore by this point. And then we see a lot of storminess up here. The jet stream is generally doing this. So we see a huge ridge throughout this region, and then a massive trough in here kind of coming in behind. And what we're going to see happen is this storm is going to try to meander its way back towards the west. We'll see this happen. Look at that. Storminess comes back on shore. This is by the time we reach about Wednesday afternoon. The flow of things really switches up to where we see mostly something like this, and then cold air coming in behind. So all over the place with these patterns. Really, really crazy stuff, guys. And we see this storminess just really persist for this region, because now we're getting that ocean air coming on shore. We're getting a lot of that storminess coming on shore. It's just really, really wild. This is by the time we're reaching Thursday, Friday time frame. So Thursday, or Wednesday the 11th, Thursday the 12th, and then Friday the 13th here. Ooh, Friday the 13th. And then we see some storminess still here for the East Coast. No surprise there. We've been seeing this for days now by this point. The forecast looks crazy. We have a 997 millibar low pressure center here. This is bringing some snowfall there to Colorado, Wyoming, and really just heavier rainfall around. This could bring some severe weather. Let's see, Saturday, May 14th. Here we see that there is still storminess for the eastern seaboard. I mean, really there's storminess for this entire region. This just looks like a crazy pattern. And by this point, the jet stream is just hanging out up here. So this means that probably we're going to see a little bit warmer conditions overall for the entire United States. And that's about the end of the model run. So what we're going to do here is move on and take a look at the total precipitation here. And as you can see, there's a lot expected for, no surprise here, this region where we see a lot of the storminess. Also up here where we see some pretty major storms. And then we also saw a lot of storminess for the Northwest. So no surprise really anywhere. If you're anywhere in the grays, it's going to be 0.1 or less inches of rainfall. White is going to be nearly nothing, if not literally nothing. Green is going to be 0.1 to 0.5 inches of rainfall. Blues is going to be a half an inch to an inch. Yellows will be an inch to 2 inches. Reds will be 2 to 5 inches. And then your brownish grays, we see some of that for the Dakotas, the upper Midwest, or better yet, the northwestern United States. I don't know why I said the upper Midwest. But that's where we expect 5 to 10 inches of rainfall there in those browns and grays. We also see some of this for the mid-Atlantic popping up. No surprise, again, the storminess is quite persistent, actually. So no surprise there at all. Now, for total snowfall as well here, we can see that there is still quite a bit of snowfall expected here for the kind of northwestern corner of the nation. But we see this receding back really far here on the eastern end, where no snowfall really outside of a couple isolated pockets is expected south of that line. So the eastern United States, clearly things are warming up in here. So we're rapidly seeing things warm up. Things are warming up over here too. But we do just expect some colder air overall. And it is pretty typical to see snowfall persisting in this region as well. So those are the two main reasons why we're seeing this occur like this. Now, let's go ahead and move on and take a look at that upcoming temperature pattern. Now here we are taking a look at that upcoming temperature pattern. We have some warmer air down here for the southeast, also for the western United States with cold in between there, as you can see. As we continue this on, we see the warmth tries to hang on through the 6th, which is going to be tomorrow. We see some colder air overall make its way in. By this point, we're probably seeing a jet stream, something like this. Kind of crazy, right? We see warmth heading in between. We see cold air on both ends here, and that is what ends up happening. But very quickly, we see that the eastern United States overall is seeing most of the warmth outside of the very far eastern United States, where we see the storminess and the winds trying to move in from the ocean. So this is causing things to cool down. But really, we have a deep trough and then kind of a ridge in the eastern United States by this point. This cold air is due to the ocean air, not because we have an actual trough. So there's multiple reasons we can have cold air, and a trough being in place is only really one of them. But for the central United States and even up into the northeastern United States, we see very warm air for quite an extended period of time. This is by the time it reaches Friday afternoon, Friday the 13th again. We see warmer air for a lot of these regions in here. Just a little bit of cold here that ends up being in place with mostly cold out west. Now, at the end of the model run, one thing I noted is we definitely see a warm-up, a pretty potent warm-up here in the western United States. And what this would do is likely push the cold air eastwards. We'd probably actually end up in a jet stream like this at some point if this does occur this way. But we could look at the model run tomorrow, and then this completely changes here on the western end. But this western end feature there is what would shift the pattern back to cold mostly in the east and warm mostly in the west. But we'll have to see if that actually occurs, so be sure to tune in with us daily as always. Let's go ahead and break down the upcoming severe weather. Now here's the day one categorical outlook. We have two general thunderstorm risk areas. That's the lighter green regions there. And that is where we expect general thunderstorms to take place, although severe weather is always possible, so heed every single watch, warning, and advisory. We see a darker green region in there as well, and that's where we have a marginal risk of severe weather, and that's where we expect isolated severe weather to take place. The yellow area is our slight risk region, and that's where we expect scattered severe weather to take place. And then our orange region there for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana is where we have an enhanced risk. And that is where we expect widespread severe weather to take place, unfortunately. Now, for the individual outlooks here, we have first off, our day one wind outlook here. And this is all based on 25 miles of a given location. And by the way, yesterday I got a comment. Somebody said, how is this considered high? 30 and 45%. Wouldn't 100% chance be high? Well, that would be astronomically high, because if you think about it, if you had a 100% chance of seeing damaging wind, what kind of storm would it take to have a 100% chance of seeing damaging wind? I mean, it would take, obviously, like a hurricane, you have a 100% chance of seeing damaging wind. But in these types of scenarios, 30 to 45% is basically a 50-50 chance of seeing like damaging wind gusts. So that is extremely high. In this case, we only get up to a 30% chance, which is more of like an elevated chance. And it's all based on 25 miles of a given location, like I said. So 5% chance there within the green, 15% chance there within the yellow, and then a 30% chance there within the red, which is more of a medium. But it's an enhanced risk technically, but an enhanced risk is actually our middle risk level. So I hope that makes sense. It's a little bit confusing, but yeah. So let's move on to the hail outlook here. We have a 5% chance there within the green, and then a 15% chance there within the yellow. Tornado outlook here, we have a 2% chance there within the green, and then a 5% chance within the two brown regions there. For the day 2 categorical outlook, we have 3 general thunderstorm risk areas there. One there for the northwest, one up there for the kind of north central United States, and then one there for the southeastern corner of the nation. Then we also have that darker green region showing up again, our marginal risk with isolated severe weather expected. And then our yellow area there, again, that's our slight risk region where scattered severe weather is expected. Now, we do have our individual outlooks again for this day. So first off, the wind outlook, again, remember, 25 miles of a given location. We have a 5% chance there within the green, a 15% chance there within the yellow. And then for hail, we have a 5% chance there within the green, and then a 15% chance within the 2 yellow regions there. And then for the tornado outlook, we have a 2% chance there within the green, and then a 5% chance there within the brown. For the day 3 severe weather outlook, we actually have 3 general thunderstorm risks there, one for the northwest, one for the north central, and then one for the southeast, with a darker green region there in the for Nebraska and South Dakota there, which is where, again, isolated severe weather is expected. And then also for day 5, we have kind of like an extended probability outlook here. For Iowa and Minnesota, we expect a slight risk of severe weather for Monday, May 9th. So keep that in mind as well. In the extended range, we have more severe weather coming up. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. For today's confidence tab, we remain at a 5 out of 6 as we continue to track these storms. For today's patron highlighted today, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons, Bill Crates, James Wade, Dovin Eagle, Little the Pant, Mandy Birchfield, Patrick Strickland, Dave Scott, and Donna Carnes as well. I would also thank our diamond patrons, Bill Roberts, Marcus Connolly, Noah Holden, Michael Codalessa, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Bill Dallas, Gary's, and John Calisi also. I'd also like to thank our channel members, Catbite, Stephen Fan, and Jeremy Cox as well. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to smash that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe for more weather-related content. I'll see you guys in the next video.